Hi everybody, this is a tutorial for our new Create Development Wheels. Now we've bought into this system so that we can assess our pupils really effectively on the literacy numeracy frameworks and the digital competence framework as well. So that's the LNF and the DCF. What we want to be able to do with this system is to be able to show where our pupils are on those frameworks and then tailor the work that we offer for the students to ensure that we're really developing the skills for life that these frameworks offer. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through accessing the website itself, and you can access it through any browser you've got. It can work on an iPad if needs be. So accessing the system, then accessing a pupil's record, choosing the wheel that you're going to work on for that student, baselining a student, mastering targets for them, setting a target that's been partially completed, setting a target, setting a part of one of the sections as a target for a term, perhaps uploading some evidence, and then how to delete any mistakes that we've made, as sometimes it's easy to click on the wrong thing. So what we'll do is we'll log in. So when you want to use the website, you just need to go to woodlandsshs.cdwheel.co.uk. It can work really well if you bookmark it, but that's down to you guys if you want to do that. So obviously, hopefully you'll have had a password emailed to you. When you get that password and log in, you can just log in. And so once you're into the system, you can see in front of you that you've got a wheel effectively. And this is where we can assess our students. So it's really a nice system, really fast to baseline a student and really fast to assess them. It's probably one of the simplest systems I've ever kind of helped to design and get people using in the past, and it's really, really effective and simple to use. And once you've done it, you get a really good picture of where a student is on that framework and where the areas for improvement are, which allows you to, of course, focus your teaching and learning a bit more as well. So when you first get in, you want to have a look over here and make sure that you're on the right class. So I've been looking at Asad's record previously, thinking about this video, so I know I'm on the right class. Got Asad there, I'm in Sycamore. But if it's the wrong pupil, and it most likely will be, then what you want to do is come down here and click on the class tab. And then just by scrolling up and down, you should be able to pick the class that you're going to work in. So it'll work on even. But I'm going to stick with Sycamore. And I'm going to close that, you don't have to. And I'm going to make sure I'm on the right wheel, because what I don't want to do is start ticking off the secondary wheel. Now I know that Asad's in sixth form, but what we're going to actually start on is the special sector wheel for the DCF. We've got wheels for the literacy framework, so we've got literacy special and literacy secondary, and we've got numeracy special and numeracy secondary as well. And the reason they're split like that is because the special sector wheel actually starts at roots for learning, as you can see here in the boxes. So if you're looking at 1.1, you can see just to the left of my mouse click 1.1 identity, image and reputation, roots for learning. And that's the closest part to the center of the wheel. And as we move out, it slowly goes up. So C-steps, nursery, reception, all the way up to year 4. And then once a pupil has completed a strand up to year 4, that's when we start to use the secondary wheel, because that starts at year 5 in the middle and goes up to year 11. So back to the special sector wheel, just to set up a baseline for Asad. The quickest way to possibly do it is to use the quick update mode. And what you need to do is get yourself to the center of the wheel, to the segments and roots for learning. So this one starts at A steps, so it's the next one along. So identify an image of themselves, if you touch an image of their face on screen. Well, we know Asad can do that. And if we just, as an example, scroll up here, we just say that actually he's here. It's on year 2, as an example. Now, I'm sure that his level will be different to this. But I'm just clicking on where I think he is. And obviously when you're doing it, what we need to make sure is that we're really careful of saying a pupil has mastered it. You know, when they're the master of something, they can do it without really thinking. They've done it at least 3 times with 3 different people in 3 different contexts, for example. So I'm just going to go around the wheel now, setting up his baseline. It won't be accurate, but this just goes to show how quick it is. Once I've read all these pieces, as I move out through the strands, I can just set his baseline. So there we go, you get a decent picture there of how a student's record might look once we've baselined them. So what I need to do now is turn quick update mode off. So click this off. Actually, I'm going to say that this target down here, where the shortfall kind of is within this pupil's record, I'm going to say actually that this student needs to be working on, we're going to target that area there for this term. So create output for different purposes using different multimedia components, including text, image, sound, animation, or video. So we're going to give that student lots of opportunities to achieve that. But when I look at this record, describe in response to questions some of what has been done in the task, e.g. add comments using recording features in software. I'm going to say that this record is actually partially complete, because I feel that student has done some of that, but they haven't quite mastered it yet. So now, if I want to add some evidence, I can just quickly go to evidence. I can add a statement. So I can just type something, example here, example evidence, and I can date that as 16th of April 2020. So there's an example. Add a little piece of text in there to say how they've done against this partial target. And then actually what I could do is add a file if I wanted to here. What we are going to be doing in the future is, once we've finished our baselining, in the future we are going to be updating, adding evidence for pupils who've achieved points. So every time a student achieves something after the baseline, not during this baselining period, but afterwards in the future, we're going to start to upload evidence to collect and develop online portfolios for all of the students as they move forward throughout their school career. Okay, and when it's time to move on to other students, we can just move on to Andrew's record and just start again with Andrew and make sure that that's all up to date and correct. And once you've got all of your class baselined, you've done all those tasks, not necessarily uploading evidence at this point, but once you've baselined them, it saves automatically, so there's no reason to worry at all about saving anything. You can just close the browser.
So the last thing to think about is if you've made a mistake on the wheels and you've clicked a segment that you don't wish to be mastered yet, what you can do is select individual segments and then delete the achievement. It's not something we should be doing after we've baselined, but for this purpose it can help. So looking at 1.2 there on the screen, if we click on an individual segment, so 1.2 health and wellbeing year 1, it's gone dark now. Once it goes dark, it's selected, and then you just need to go to the top right hand corner and click complete, and now it's been erased from the wheel. And you can use the same process with any of the segments, including those targeted or partials as well.
So hopefully that explained everything. If you've got any questions, you can always email me. Let me know any concerns or anything like that. But it should be quite simple in terms of just assessing the pupils really quickly and giving us a decent snapshot of where our students are in these frameworks and allow us to tailor our curriculum a bit better.
There is actually the function to look at an average wheel for your whole class. Obviously we've only done one pupil, so this isn't very accurate, this wheel. But what you can do once you've completed all your assessments is just check your class's profile, just to see where the students are across the DCF on average within your group.
Right, I think that's it from the wheels. So once you finish, especially if you're using a shared computer, just log yourself out, make sure nobody else can get into your records, and then you're all finished. Let me know any questions. Thanks a lot.